Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So I'm trying something new as far as editing my videos. I'm gonna try, since I'm doing it through my iPhone, try to do it through iMovie and just post these whenever I can and get them out as often as I can and just see how this works. But anyways, today's video is just gonna be about if you're considering competing in the NPC or whatever federation it is, some things that you might wanna consider before you decide to make the commitment. Now, I had an idea of what it might be like competing because I had the opportunity to watch a coworker go through the whole thing, and I was able to see, the process firsthand because I worked with her every day. But I never actually considered specifically like the costs and necessarily the time that you have to put in to really get stage ready. So I wrote down a few things and I'm just gonna go over them with you guys, and hopefully this will be an interesting video for you and you can just kind of consider these things if you're thinking about competing or if it's something that you really want to do. All right, so first things to consider. The first thing is the cost of competing. It is a very rewarding sport, but it's also a very costly sport. So I would recommend saving any money that you can. Obviously, if this is something that you really enjoy and something that you want to be doing for a long period of time, then you'll definitely want to kind of make a financial plan for these things. Things to consider is the cost of a coach. Some people coach themselves to the stage, but personally, even if you are a personal trainer yourself, I would recommend getting a coach, just because at a certain stage in prep, I feel like you almost get prep brain. Like, you don't necessarily see sometimes what your coach might see, or you might be down on yourself feeling like you're not making progress when you actually are. It's just, at some points we get really super critical of ourselves, and sometimes we just need that extra guidance or that extra eye to make sure that we're getting to where we want to be. The next is the suit cost. You'll have to get a suit before you get on stage, or when you get on stage you'll have to have a competition suit. So there's different options. You can buy your own, which honestly I feel like would be the most cost effective because you can wear the same suit over and over again. So I feel like sometimes it's better just to get that one cost out of the way, and then you could just keep re-wearing the suit as many times as you want. Or you can rent a suit if you're one of those type of people, like you don't like to wear the same suit over and over again. You want to change it up, you want to wear a different suit. Different companies rent out suits, and you can also do that as well. Tanning, makeup, hair, those are all things that you'll need to consider on your show day. A lot of people say, don't do your own makeup. There's a certain way that stage makeup needs to look, and that is true. But if you are a makeup artist yourself, I would just say make sure that your makeup matches your tan. That's the biggest thing, and just make sure that it looks very vibrant, just because the stage lights will tend to wash you out sometimes. And then your hair, a lot of people do their hair on their own, and honestly, for my next show I have someone in my family that's a hairstylist is going to be doing my hair, and we're just going to do some simple curls. I don't think the judges look at anything specific when it comes to hair. They do look at an overall look, but you just want to make sure that your hair goes well with the overall package and your suit. So I think what I'm thinking about doing for my next show is doing extensions and then doing like some soft curls in it. And just because I do that, that doesn't mean that anybody else has to do it. There's people that go on stage with super short hair, like a bob haircut. There's people that go with long hair. There's people that have blonde hair, brown hair. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The judges are looking at your overall look and your physique on stage, compared to the other men or women that compared to the other women you're going to be competing with. Because if you're a woman competing, you're not going to be competing against the men, obviously. Okay, and then the next thing that you want to consider is a gym membership. Depending on your coach and your plan, and I'm not gonna say like specifically you'll have to be in the gym, because I don't know what other coaches do for their clients, but most likely you'll need to get a gym membership for some of the movements that you'll have to do, some of the machines that you'll need to use. So it's one of the lesser costly things. I use Planet Fitness, and it's $10 a month. So and they pretty much have most of the machines that I need except for like one or two, and in that case I'll just do like an alternative to that movement to make sure that I fit that into my workout. The next thing that you'll need to consider is the dedication and the time that it takes to be stage ready. Generally you need to be prepared all year round in your improvement season, and you know, when you're leaning down for the stage, it all takes dedication, every single bit of it. But especially once you get into, you know, prep mode and you actually start leaning down, at least specifically for me, my workouts start to get quite a bit longer. So because I have to add in that extra cardio, I have to consider that cardio that I'm now doing with my weightlifting. So the time that it's going to take in the gym is going to take me a bit longer. And I just try to consider, you know, the other things that I have going on in my life, and trying to time manage to be able to spend time with my family. So like, for example, for me, I usually, I'll do my cardio during lunchtime, during my lunch break at work, and then after my daughter goes to sleep at night, probably around 9 o'clock or so, that's when I'll go to the gym and I'll do my lifting. And that's really just what works personally for me, because I'm able to still go home and spend time with my family and not really, you know, disrupt their life. They still get time with me, whether I'm doing my hobby, enjoying my hobby or not. So these are just other things to consider about the time and the dedication that it's going to take. Not to mention prepping your food at the end of the day and just making sure you have your meals prepped. For me, I usually prep my meals like every 2 days or so. And I know that sounds like a lot. A lot of people do all of their meal prep on one day. But personally for me, I just kind of like to do it throughout the week, because I feel like my food stays fresher and it just tastes better to me that way. Next is to consider your attitude throughout the whole prep. I mean, I feel like personally, like I feel like I maintain a pretty good attitude, especially this prep versus last prep. There's just different things that I've done this time that just, you know, helped me overall and helped me keep more of a positive attitude. But you're not always going to have a positive attitude. Generally you will from the beginning towards the middle, but the end of prep, it generally gets very hard and it becomes very taxing. You're going to be exhausted. You're sometimes going to feel like you're not ready. You're sometimes going to feel frustrated just because you're tired, you're hungry, your calories are getting a little bit lower. But that's those moments when you really need to push hard. You need to push through. It's those moments that really shine through at the end, when you're able to show all of that hard work and that dedication on stage, and really it just becomes all worth it in the end. So I just want to say, just make sure that you keep your goal in mind, and whenever you get in those moments of exhaustion or sometimes feels like desperation, just know that you're going to reach the end. You're going to reach, you know, that your moment on stage, and it's all going to be worth it. Let's see. The next thing that you might want to consider before you decide to prep for a competition is what does your current physique look like? You know, have you ever lifted weights before? Maybe you're a little bit overweight. Maybe you might need to lose weight and then build some muscle before you lean down for the stage, because you certainly don't want to just, if you've never lifted weights before, try to go into a prep to lose weight and then get on stage, because yes, you might look lean to a point, but you're not going to have much muscle on you. So you might want to consider possibly lifting weights, getting in the gym and lifting weights for a year before you get on stage. And I hate saying that and trying to seem like I'm telling people what to do, because I didn't necessarily do that when I started my prep, but I almost wish I did, just because I do wish I did, and I didn't, just because I got to be able to experience it and see what it was like, and realize that I really had a passion for this once I actually dove into it. For me, I'm kind of like an all-in type of person. I just jump in full force. And that's really what I needed to do to be able to see whether this was something I wanted to do for a really long time. But I did jump into a prep having no lifting experience whatsoever. I started lifting the day I started my bikini prep, but I went on stage and I had managed to build some muscle over time. We started very high calorie in the beginning and then didn't really start to taper off till the middle towards the end. So I was able to put on a little bit of muscle, but it wasn't much at all. It was a tidbit. So I got on stage and I didn't have as much muscle as some of the other bikini girls up there because I had never lifted before. So that was kind of a disadvantage to me. So if you want to go up there and be competitive, then you might want to consider that. But if you're just you want to get up there for the experience and you want to see if this is something that you'll enjoy or something that you want to do as a hobby, then go for it. I mean, it's your choice, it's your experience, but just keep in mind all the money that you're going to be putting forth in this. And you know, if this is something you just want to do for the experience, or if this is something you want to do, like you actually want to go up there and place well. So just consider that. And then this kind of goes into what I just talked about, is just, you know, why are you doing this? Are you you want to figure out your why. Why are you doing this? Are you going up there for the experience? Is this something that you want to do long term? Is this just a hobby for you? Do you want to actually try to achieve getting your pro card one day, competing at the pro level? And personally, I feel like you don't really know whether you want to get your pro card or not until you do a few shows and you experience it and you kind of understand exactly how much work it's going to take to get to that pro stage. You know, there have been some very blessed, lucky women that have only been lifting for maybe 2 or 3 years, and they just have it. Some girls just have it. You know, they do a few shows, they get nationally qualified. Bikini girls get nationally qualified, and then their very first national show or their second national show, they get their pro card. But it's very rare, you know, that actually happened. There's a few girls that are very blessed, and like I said, they just have it, like this is their sport. But then there's going to be some people, most people, that you really just going to have to work at it. It's going to take more than a few shows. It could take years to get your pro card, especially like me. I decided that I wanted to transition into the figure division, and I took a year off to build some muscle. I still don't have, at least I feel like I still don't have enough muscle to be at the pro level. I still need to take the time to build muscle, but for me, I'm going into this prep this year, and you know, I'm just ready to see what kind of feedback the judges give me. I want to see how I've improved from the bikini stage to now. I want to see exactly what I need to improve on to get to the national level. So, and yes, after my next show, I'll probably take another year off in between nationals. I don't even know for sure if I will go to nationals. If I get nationally qualified, I might decide I want to take 2 years off to build more muscle, just because, like I said, these shows, this sport is very expensive, and you just want to make sure that you're getting out of it what you put in. So if I go on stage, spend all this money, I want to make sure that I look my best, that I have enough muscle to be able to compete and be competitive against the other women. So that's just another thing to consider. Hey guys, I was gonna record another little segment as far as what to consider, but iMovie cuts me off at 15 minutes, so I had to cut the video off at that last point. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.